Okay, welcome everyone. Minute late, bit down to the wire today. We all got a bit sort of compressed into the last half an hour for some reason. So welcome to the briefing on Wednesday the 1st of June. Happy first pinch punch first of the month. So note from our sponsors, Vertigo Covers, Vertigo Detailing, Applegarth and the Soaring Engine, Jim Dale. Moving on, music night tonight, open mic night, hopefully lots of people attending with some acts and a bit of open mic club members showing us what they can and cannot do. Curry night tonight as well, traditional Wednesday. It's been like that for many years at Lasham. So results from yesterday. Oh, that was an interesting day.
Electrifying.
Yeah, interesting in more ways than one. Day 3 in the red class. So in third place, Graham McAndrew, 109 kilometres. In second place, Martin Clark in his JS1, 111.55. And the day winner, Dave Watt, at 122 kph. Obviously, guys, come and get your wine from Control.
Worth noting that Dave Watt took a 15-knot climb to 6,500 feet in developing a shower cloud. So
yeah,
very well
done.
done.
Very impressive. Moving on to Jordan and the weather.
Okay, well, a very good morning, everybody. Yes, yesterday was a little bit more electrifying than I was expecting. That school line as it came over the top of us just exploded. So a very well done to everybody that was flying around that yesterday. I certainly wouldn't have wanted to be up there, and it seemed like none of the airliners wanted to either. So yeah, full credit to you. Today, I'm afraid we're still in an unstable air mass. An occluded front moving across the region during the day. Fairly slack winds at the moment, and we'll have a look at that at the moment. But everything is pointing to the fact that it's unstable. And as I look out the window at the moment, we've already got that fair amount of cloud. Those winds, well, first of all, actually pressures for today, no weather warnings, 1012 at the moment, the latest pressure, and sunset today at just after 9 o'clock. Winds generally from the northwest, sort of 15 knots at flying heights, a bit slack on the ground, sort of 5 to 10. The sounding for Lark Hill doesn't make great reading, if I'm honest, because as soon as you get to the trigger temperature, we have convection most of the way up to what that's about 10,000 feet, yeah. 10,000 feet or so, which maybe Dave Watt might enjoy that, but unfortunately that does not give us a good start to the day. Hopefully it will sort of stabilize a bit and we'll end up with a bit of a drier air mass this afternoon. Satellite picture over the UK shows a fair amount of clouds. There have been some gaps which are forming out in the West Country, but I would expect those to fill in with showers fairly quickly, and there's already some shower activity present over Wales. As we look at the rain alarm for today, you can see the showers forming over Wales. None into England yet, but I reckon it's only a matter of time before we start to see some shower activity. Top temperature today of around 16 degrees and dew points floating in the sort of 8s and 7s. Some METARs and TAFs view currently. Middle Wallop reporting scattered at 1,800 feet, light westerly wind, temperature 13 degrees. You'll be very pleased to know, as of yet, until they redo the TAF, I have not seen any Prob 30 or thunderstorms. I'll take it a little bit more seriously next time. But it does, however, show that we are due Prob 30 of showers and towering cumulus. Odium, very similar, few at 1,600 feet, tempo scattered at 2,000, which is probably what we've got at the moment. And yeah, sort of few clouds at 4,000 feet, but showers intermixed with that during the day. Heavy showers, prob 30 between 11 and 4. Yeah, lots of showers, but no electricity. So I would say that's an improvement. Currently at Lasham, we have a temperature of 13.7. It was rising very steeply with all that surface heating getting to the ground, but things are evaporating now, and it's sort of stabilizing a bit, and we're at 13 and 7 on there. So on to potential flight distance for today. Not a particularly wide task area. If it looks really good, then there's the option to send you around the danger areas up towards the north, good out towards the west coasts. Only a slight chance of sea air at the moment. From what I can see, the direction doesn't lend itself and strength to wiping out the Somerset levels completely. But in any case, we're not sending you too far west for that to be a problem. Bristol airspace gets in the way anyway, but looking reasonable for a go down towards the southwest. And yeah, we've got a number of tasks to deal with the amount of weather that we've got today. Once that shower goes through at 1:30, we have a sort of 2 to 3 knot climbs in the Lasham area, maybe slightly more, and cloud base locally to here of around 3,000 feet, 3,500 feet. Better out towards the west, where you will see probably 3,500 to 4,000 feet. Over developments, there's lots of that. That's probably mostly caused by showers. Cloud cover, there's lots of that as well. But we're hoping that during the day, maybe mid to late afternoon, it's going to sort of dry out a bit and introduce a little bit more sunshine to the region. The models are still a little bit unsure on that. To give you shower forecasts during the day, it's 12 o'clock going through to 1 o'clock. Less showers than yesterday, but I would still bring your jacket at least, maybe not a storm force brolly this time. Although you would have got struck by lightning by that yesterday anyway. So yeah, showers definitely still a factor. Let's see if we've got anything else for you. Cross country speeds. Let's see, that's what's dictated our task area. You can see sort of down in that southwestern corner and up towards the north being an option. So a tricky day to forecast, if I'm honest. I can guarantee showers. But at least there must be some convection somewhere, and maybe a day for some more cloud climbs. Looking at a Lark Hill sounding for this afternoon, shows fairly unstable to 4,000 feet. Tops of clouds probably above, well above that. An inversion starting to build in at around 8,000 to 9,000 feet, but as you can see, it is going to be tricky, and there's going to be a fair amount of sort of lower medium level clouds getting in the way there. Okay, potential flight distance on top Meteo. Again, you can see good through the just south of the Salisbury, out towards the West Country and north of the Salisbury Plain again. So that's what's dictated our task area. Looking at 11 o'clock, as we see at the moment, bit of congested queue, probably around 2,500 feet. By midday, seeing 3,000 feet above Lasham, maybe 3.5 later, and that shower risk starts to go down in the afternoon. And by 5 o'clock, we're looking in the task area to have a reasonable cumulus, maybe a bit more congested on the south at around 3.5 to 4,000 feet. So it won't be a particularly high day, but I imagine those of you that like flying in cloud might have another opportunity to do so. Finally, site forecasts for today. Thermals not amazingly strong, 1.5 to 2 knots generally. Clouds not going as high as they did yesterday, hence the lack of electricity, only up to 13,000 feet. but still the risk of showers in there. But fairly consistent throughout the afternoon. There's not, it's not suggesting huge dead areas. I mean, Lasham didn't actually become soarable again after the storm for about 2 hours, Colin, wasn't it?
Beyond that, yeah.
2 or 3 hours.
6 o'clock.
So yes, there'll be showers, but hopefully they won't wipe out the air mass for quite as long. So I wish you the very best of luck with today. We're going to brief you on a number of tasks to try and cope with a number of weather conditions, but bring a brolly, cloud climb if you need to, and yes, enjoy what will be probably quite a tricky but hopefully enjoyable day. Back to Colin.
Okay, today's task, folks. As Jordan said, we've set a number of tasks. We're going to brief all of them here because we don't want to go down the road of having to rebrief on the grid if we think we have to sort of fall back a significant way, because that just adds about an hour to the whole process. So we brief them now and we'll work around them. You know, if we're down to task D, then things have gone horribly wrong. We're all concerned. So day 4, task A, Basingstoke start point, Cerne Abbas, Chippenham West, Marlborough, back to Lasham ARP round the danger area. Task B, Basingstoke again, 6 Penny Handley, Beckington, Marlborough, and that's for 207k, reduce the distance by 60k. And back to Lasham ARP. The C task just keeps you to the south, folks. I think it's gone wrong in the northern area. Basingstoke, 6 Penny Handley, Fording Bridge, control point at Bullingdon Cross, and back to Lasham ARP. And as I said, if we're down to task D, we are in trouble. 87.1k, Basingstoke South, Andover South East, Mottisfont Station, Bullingdon, back to Lasham. And the blue class there on day 3, task A, 240k, Lasham start west, so split the start points for each class. Bullingdon, Anstey Cross, Bradford on Avon, Great Bedouin, and then back to Lasham. That just keeps you clear of any relevant airspace that Colin will brief on. The B task, 192, Lasham West LA5, Chilbolton, Blandford, Gillingham, Salisbury South, Bullingdon and back. Not a great fan of multiple turning points like that, but we don't have a lot of choice if we set down to the south because it's quite congested airspace. Task C, back to 121, it's LA5, Bullingdon, Fording Bridge, Salisbury South, Popham, and Lasham ARP. And a last resort task, if things are getting, say, gone horribly wrong, LA5, Andover South East, Mottisfont, Bullingdon, and back to Lasham. So whole selection of tasks, they're all up on Soaring Spot now. For you to download, it just saves us having to rebrief on the runway if we retask. It saves us at least 20 minutes, half an hour. Colin, over to you for airspace.
Thank you, Colin. And well, we had a few issues with airspace this morning, mainly people not answering their phones or having changed their numbers and not put their new phone numbers in the pilot. But there we go, we got over it. So for today, 1st of June, that's the current airspace file. It's version 4, and heads up, there will be a version 5 published tonight. Parachuting sites, just a reminder that those Western, Hinton, Simpson, Langler, Chatteris are all permanent penalty zones, not of great effect today, but we will continue to tell you about this. Oh, I've got that in twice. Mind. Old Sarum, DZ, not a penalty zone today. They're not parachuting. Middle Wallop, DZ, not a penalty zone today. Keevil, DZ, not a penalty zone today. Aldermaston and Burfield, probably not particularly important today, but we'll tell you about it again just to remind you. Stay outside of the fences if you're below the top of their prohibited area. All UK danger areas are penalty zones during their notified periods, with the exception of those which are Note 2 helicopter only. ATZs, and I have to remind you about this just simply because we're being asked to. So just remember the reasons why or how you deal with ATZs. Odium ATZ is a penalty zone, and that's for our own housekeeping reasons. Neighbours, well, Popham, and again a request to pull off the side of the runway. Brimpton, probably not relevant. Odium, it is a penalty zone, but in the extremis they won't get to us. Advisory navigation warnings, and there's a few to go through here. So what have we got? We've got Solent CTA as a proximity, Porton Down, the Lions of Longleat, really not a good point to do a field landing, I don't think, and Romeo 106, which is Laycock. ATZ's near track, and there are a lot of these. These are all repeated on your task sheets, but worthy of being said here. I won't mention the frequency, you can look those up on your task sheet. Middle Wallop and Boscombe Down, Truxton, Compton Abbas, Yeovil and Yeovilton. Yeovil sometimes reply better to the call sign Westerland, but they should answer Yeovil. Other airfields, Popham, yes, Henstridge could be of interest, and the Park. Park aren't active today, they are gliding, so worthy of having a particularly good look at around that area. Our frequencies, nothing's changed there. Transponders, reminder that you may not use any transponder that you have to give you clearance, not clearance, give you the ability to fly in a TMZ. But please, if you have one, use it as a constant security code. Compton box is closed. So unless there are any questions, I haven't seen any come up on the chat.
Howard Jones says, could you confirm that clipping an ATZ is a land out, not an airspace penalty? Well, it's unless you land there, it is a penalty.
Yeah, unless you land.
Yeah. There's also a question of what the difference is between V3 and V4. What's the big difference?
The big difference between V3 and V4 is the removal of the Little Rislington airspace. ATZ is still current, but they had a DZ.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, back to me. Airfield layout and finishing. Standard slide you've seen 4 or 5 times before. For operating around the airfield, nothing's changed there at the moment. Airfield layout, we're on 27, gridded on the runway. Club operations, grass, north side. And relights, if you need to, will be either side of the main runway in the grid area or slightly beyond that. And we'll get you launched in line with the comp rule book, which I think is once every 5 competition launches. We'll get you back in the air if you want to go. Give us a call on the radio if you do. Just let us know. Because there'll also be club members flying and it all gets a bit confusing. Is that a competitor? Is that a club member? So give us a call. Finishing, you're coming back from the west or the southwest. And it'll be straight in on 09. The comp has the hard runway and the 2 grass runways. To the south, land long, normal procedures. Club operation with the wind direction it is will still be on 27 grass north side. If you wish to land 27 grass north side, you just finish a bit high and do a northern circuit. Easy peasy. Usual requests, call the finish line on 131030, just 10k out, gives us a heads up, and we can press robo control till we note that you're on your way in. Scoring usual, submit your traces. Questions, I'm sure Jordan's got a
Been
few.
keeping track of them. All of them have been answered at the moment.
Excellent, so keep
asking if there are any more.
yeah. First launch not before 11 o'clock. It's now 20 past. I think it'll be at 11. No, we'll be looking at it beyond that for the size of tasks and what we think is going to happen during the day. Last launch 1800 hours. Next briefing will be tomorrow on
It might be a bit later than that.
Thursday the 2nd, and it will probably be later than that, folks, because of the Royal Flight airspace. It restricts us to not be able to get going before 1:31 local time. And it's all to do with the Queen's fly past over London and the massive amount of airspace that they've stolen for an hour. I mean, acquired for an hour.
Aerospace.
So what's on the
I don't know.
You'll receive a text tomorrow morning with the briefing time.
Okay, we'll leave it open for another few minutes, just for you to ask any more questions.
completely one
Okay, we're going to close the briefing there, folks. It's 10:27. See you out on the grid. We'll let you know at least 20 minutes before possible first launch.